Welcome to the Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group, LLC. Eric Wilman, president of Capital One Group, LLC, is a highly trained financial professional. He helps clients to develop strategies for effectively utilizing real estate, mortgages, and related financial products to achieve a more secure financial future. For the real estate investor or the home buyer, he's able to provide expertise in matching the right properties and financing with your specific financial objectives. This show is dedicated to helping you find the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of The Real Estate Show.
And hello to everybody out there listening to us here on the radio station. It's time for another live edition of The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program and America's longest running daily radio show all about real estate. We've got a great show for you today. In fact, we've got a great week lined up for you as we enter the month of May. And we've got a lot here planned during the month of May, some great events. We've got the home show at the end of the month. We have a couple of trips to a couple of new markets up in the Northeast and then elsewhere. And we've got a great workshop plan coming up on Tuesday the 17th for all of you out there listening who are interested in learning more about real estate and would like to find out from a local expert some of the ins and outs of the real estate market, what to do first when you get started in real estate. This is going to be the month. And that's the question right now. You know, May is here. 1/3 of the year is now behind us. It is locked up and in the books. Nothing you can do about it. And so where are you? Where are you now? Are you where you wanted to be? Are you basically 4 rounds into a 12-round match? Are you winning on points? Or have you still some work to make up? And what we're going to do today is we're going to take a quick quiz. And what I wanted to do is, and I kind of structured this quiz in a way that will make you think a little bit about what you're doing in real estate and see if it's as organized as you want. We started off last week talking about the 5 steps to real estate investing, and hopefully you listened to every episode of that. We had a great week with that. Not only that, but also talking about some technology issues on our Thursday What the Tech segment. So, I mean, we cover a lot of ground here, and I know that from time to time, when you get so much information, valuable information, if you're not writing it down, if you're not putting it into actionable steps, then it gets to a certain point where you start to ask yourself, well, where should I start? What are the step-by-step plan? And that's why we did the 5-step plan. And for those of you who take today's quiz and send it to us on our website at www.automaticlandlord.com. So write this down, automaticlandlord.com. That's where you go to register for the 17th for our workshop. That's where you can send us also the results to your quiz. You see, the product of our lives is a result of the decisions that we make. And the decision from the Latin word to cut off means to take a path and to cut off all others, and really to make a decision to go and do something in particular. And this is about doing. It's not about reading. It's not about research. It's not about just listening, attending, and being a spectator. Real estate is a contact sport. And the first step one that we talked about last week was the fact that you have to get out there and find leads. And that's probably the hardest part, what seems like the easiest part. Most people are afraid of talking to sellers. They're afraid they may not sound intelligent. Most people are afraid to pick up the phone. All of a sudden, the telephone feels like a 40-pound weight. But the fact of the matter is, whether you go visit them in person, whether you go and make the phone calls, send a letter, whatever the situation may be, it's a contact sport. Until you contact somebody, the owner of a property, then we really haven't made progress. And that's the main thing. So we got to get on calls. We got to make sure that we got to get going. And so the fact that you got to ask yourself in this business, are you ready to do that? If staying home watching TV is the way to go, then, well, that's the way to go. But it's not the way to go in real estate. And that's what we want to make sure that we have the ability to find the leads first, then, of course, to evaluate the leads, then, number three, to make offers. And again, until you found the lead, there's nothing to evaluate. Until you find the lead and evaluate the property, there's nothing to make offers on. And once you make the offer, then you got to follow up, get it processed, take it from contract to close. But that's clerical. In fact, that's probably, of all of the items here, I would say you could outsource any of them, but the ones that you would want to outsource the most is that clerical part. That's the easiest thing, to have somebody, whether it be somebody from a title company, somebody from your real estate office, somebody who is just good at secretarial work, following up on collecting the signed contracts, following up and making sure that you have all the inspections done, following up and making sure that any and all paperwork that's required to be delivered to the title company in order for the closing gets done. So the follow-up part is probably the easiest part, and also one of the parts that can be largely automated. Even the finding the leads, actually, you can probably outsource to a great extent. You can buy lists. You can hire a mailing house to send out the letters. You can do that on an automated basis. Now, the one thing that you really can't outsource, at least not get it done correctly, is to call, make the offer, and negotiate the price. And that's probably the biggest and the highest value that you have as a real estate investor, and that's what has to be done. But for that, we're going to talk about our little bit of a quiz, and here's why. You have to decide whether if after 1/3 of the year is done, that means 33% of the year is done, finished, and now where you are in real estate is where you're going to be again after the next third is done, if you do the same thing that you've been doing up until now. So what is it that you're going to change if the quiz that we're about to take doesn't pan out to be the results that you wanted? And I hope that you'll take a look at this and look at this as a very honest self-assessment. Now, I said I'd love to see the results of your quiz, and I'd love to see some of the patterns, because there's a lot of insight. And for everyone who sends in a quiz, I'll personally call you, and then we'll discuss that and what it is that I suggest, and I'll give you resources that you can contact, things that you can download, and stuff to help you out, particularly in the weaker areas. And we'll go from there and see how that works out. So there's a benefit, first of all, of taking the quiz right now. Write down your answers to each one of the questions, and then an additional bonus benefit if you decide to send it in. Remember that we're all presented with moments in our lives where there's an opportunity to reinvent ourselves. And sometimes taking an assessment like this will give you the chance to see where the blind spots might even be. And we can start down a new path if we know what our weak spots are and we know how to address it. Now, the opportunities, in fact, moments like this come fast and they go fast. This is one of those moments, and I think that doing this and being involved at the real estate show, listening to it on a regular basis, and being honest with yourself is really one of the best paths that you can take, and ensuring that your real estate business will create the wealth, the income, the passive cash flow, or we like to talk about as the massive passive cash flow, that it can really literally change your life. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get right into the quiz, and then we'll talk about each part of that quiz as we go through it right after these words from our sponsors. Remember, you are listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Wilner. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Today's real estate market is full of questions. Eric Wilner and Capital One Group LLC have the answers. Call today for a no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. You'll learn the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. And you'll find out how to get the right real estate investments for your specific investment objectives. Plus, you'll have immediate access to cutting-edge mortgage and financing products. Be sure to ask about free property management on select investment properties. Call today for your no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. Toll free, 888-595-7779.
I said, damn, this traffic jam. Well, there you are, sitting in traffic like thousands of other motorists listening to Eric Wilner's Real Estate Show. Here's a thought. If you're listening, so are potential customers and clients. Radio advertising works. So become an advertiser or sponsor guest on Eric's show. Get your message heard. Call 1-888-595-7779. That's 1-888-595-7779. Your customers and clients are waiting to hear from you. Said, damn, this traffic jam. Call 1-888-595-7779.
Are you paying for a home that is losing value every month? Do you owe $400,000 and your home is worth only $300,000 and still dropping? Do you want to know more about what the government is doing to help you? You have options. Don't just give up or walk away. Know your rights. Fight back. Fistel Law Firm can help you. Call for a free consultation today. 954-522-1212. 954-522-1212. Or on the web, fistel.com.
Hello, listeners. This is Eric Wilner, your host of The Real Estate Show. Exciting news. We now have a Facebook page. Now, this is an opportunity for us to share with you photos and videos and interviews and lots more information on a regular basis on our Facebook page. But to make it really exciting, we want your input. We want your comments, and most of all, we want your likes. And that will make us a much better radio show, and our Facebook page will be a real resource for you. So check us out at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. That's facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. And give us a thumbs up.
This is The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton, with your host, Eric Wilner. If you have any questions about the broadcast, call toll-free, 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, back to today's show.
And welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program all about real estate, and America's longest running daily radio show all about real estate. Through the good times and through the bad times, we've been here bringing you information, knowledge, tips, techniques, workshops, and events that we think that will benefit and bring value to your real estate business. And speaking about the longest running, I wanted to wish my dad a very happy birthday. We celebrated his 80th birthday this last weekend, and thankfully he's doing well, strong, and we had a really nice dinner this weekend with all the family, and it was great. And so anyway, happy birthday, Dad. Anyway, we have been talking about a self-assessment, and the important thing about really improving and building up your business is knowing where you are and where you stand. And so what I did is I designed a sort of a quiz of just a few questions, and I invite you as our listeners to take this quiz and to honestly assess what it is that the quiz reveals. So first of all, what I want to do is I want you to grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, of course, the best, 1 being the bottom of the scale, and namely needs work. So if you're strong in something, you could be an 8, 9, or a 10. If it needs work, it's probably a 1, 2, or 3. And middle of the road. Now, this is not a business about averages, although consistency is probably more important than being a superstar in one area. So the first question you have to ask in part of our quiz here is, what's your engagement in real estate? Are you really engaged? Do you dedicate regular time? Are you fully informed, knowledgeable? Do you participate in something that moves the football forward? So the first question is, what's your engagement? How well are you engaged in this business? Number 2 is between, let's say, these radio programs, which are here live Monday through Friday, each and every day, we have a little bit, sort of a little helping of real estate every day, a daily real estate seminar to keep you informed and hopefully to keep you motivated. But what happens when the radio show ends? What is your activity out there during the week in between our little our show. That's number two. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much activity are you actually doing in between thinking about real estate as we talk about? Number three, how is or what is your ability to find the leads? Are you able to find leads on a regular basis? Do you have 3 to 5 different sources of whether it be the realtors that feed you business, plus perhaps either some ads, it could be anywhere from Backpage, Craigslist, and all those other things, or are you combing the ads that are out there and making phone calls on those? Do you have any kind of active outbound marketing? Are you making phone calls? Are you posting signs or things out there looking to buy properties? What is the activity out there, and what is your ability to find leads? So that's question number three. Number one was, what's your engagement in this business period? Number two, what kind of activity, what frequency and what consistency of activity do you have outside of, let's say, this radio program? All on the scale of 1 to 10. Number three, the ability to find leads. Number four, here's what we were talking about, the ability to convert those leads. Sure, it's great to have lots of leads coming into your email box. What are you doing about them? Are you contacting the seller? So number four is your ability to convert leads and contact the seller. Scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing? Next is your ability to negotiate. Remember earlier, I said that the most important thing for us to do is to negotiate. That's where our highest and best value. When you think about it, if you in the course of a 10-minute phone call are able to get a $10,000 reduction in price, what was your pay rate at that time? There's probably no greater profession out there or greater compensation than the ability to negotiate. And that, of course, leads into the area of sales. And of course, most highly compensated people are people who make things move, who sell things, who create the ability or the process for things to be sold. So that was our question. What is your ability to negotiate? Scale of 1 to 10. Good negotiator, bad negotiator, average negotiator, above average negotiator. Write it down. And then the next step is the ability to review contracts and understand the terms of the contracts. And later on this month, we're going to get more in depth some of the key pitfalls. I'm going to talk about some of the critical parts of the contract. There's lots and lots of filler in a contract. There are 3 contracts that we use in our business. We use 3 contracts. One is the realtor's contract. One is a standard 2-page contract, simple but covers a lot of the things. And then we have a very simple 1-page contract for, well, we'll talk about the when and where each one of those apply. So in reviewing the contracts and the terms, are you comfortable? Do you understand it all? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the contracts there? And then the next question is, what is your ability to market a property? Do you know how to get rid of a property once you get it? And there are certain tricks, strategies, and techniques that you need to know in order to market a property, because a well-priced property that's well marketed shouldn't last very long. The only 2 reasons that a property does not sell is one of those 2 reasons, or a combination of the 2 in many cases. But it's really, has the property been properly marketed to every possible channel? Is it targeted at the right audience, the right end buyer? Do you understand who the end buyer is? Number 1. And number 2 is, do you have a list already of hungry, anxious, and capable, qualified buyers out there to buy from you? And that makes the property move very quickly. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your ability to market a property? And let me review the questions really quick so that if you're filling out this quiz and you're participating, again, what's your engagement? Are you playing full out in this game? What's your engagement? Number 1. Scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. What's your activity in between the show? What are you doing when this show ends and the music rolls out? Does your mind go into a completely different area? And the concept of a real estate investment and a real estate business, does it go away for the rest of the day until tomorrow again? Number 3, the ability to find leads. Number 4, the ability to convert those leads, the ability to contact the seller. Scale of 1 to 10. Ability to negotiate is the next question. Ability to review contracts and terms, and then the ability to market a property. Now, we are looking for partners out there, and we're always looking for people who have certain strengths that we're looking for, and people who have certain weaknesses that we think that we can easily complement with our strengths. So, if you want to participate, in fact, if you want to be considered to be one of our property partners, send me this quiz. Send it to automaticlandlord.com. That's www.automaticlandlord.com. And in fact, add one little extra part at the bottom, and that is, tell me what are your strengths as it pertains to real estate, and then tell me what are your weaknesses, again, as it pertains to real estate / business. And perhaps we can help you out. And like I said, anyone who fills this out, I will give you a call. We'll spend some time together, no cost, no obligation for anything, but just an option or an opportunity for you to improve, for me to help you out, and for me to engage a little bit more with our clients here in the real estate and on the Real Estate Show. And that being said, speaking about resources, the Facebook page. So if you go to www.facebook.com/The Real Estate Show with Eric Wilner, has become really a very cool resource. We've been posting a lot of the audios for our radio show. We've been posting videos of the radio show. So you get a nice mix, a very comprehensive, the opportunity that if you weren't able to listen to the show when it broadcasts live here on the local radio stations, and again, we're on AM 740, we're on 96.9 FM, and you can also listen to it on the website that I gave you, where you send the quiz at www.automaticlandlord.com. And you can even take us with you on your mobile device simply by downloading the TuneIn app. That's TuneIn, and it's a free app that you can get for any of your smartphones. It's a free app that you download, and then you just search the call letters WSBR. That's WSBR AM 740, and then you can just click right into the that radio show. In fact, the neat thing about TuneIn is it will set an alarm, a reminder that will tell you when the show is going to be on. So send us the quiz. Check out the Facebook page. There's so much information on there that we think is becoming. We're getting great feedback. I think in less than a month that we've had that Facebook page up there, there's over 1,200 followers now. We invite you to become one of the followers on that Facebook page. It is so much more than a Facebook page in the traditional sense. It is becoming a real resource, a content-rich place to go. And we're going to be adding things to that Facebook page more and more as time goes on. And by the way, send us your feedback. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you'd like to see. If there's more things that we could add to that resource site, let us know. We'll definitely consider it. And if it's something that is in the realm of what we're doing, we're happy to add it and to put it on there again. So that about wraps it up for today's program. I hope you seriously take that quiz. After all, like I said, we're 1/3 the way into the year as far as the calendar goes. I hope you're 1/3 of the year as far as your goals go. And if you don't have goals, it isn't too late for you to set some. 2/3 of the year lay in front of you, and we hope that we can be a part to help you out, especially when it comes to real estate. So that's it for today's show. I want to thank you all for listening. Again, tune in to our radio show here Monday through Friday from 8 until 8:30 a.m. If you can't catch us live here on the air, then always catch our rebroadcasts, which are hosted on our Facebook page at The Real Estate Show with Eric Wilner. So for me, I'm signing out. I've got some things to do in the rest of the day. 24 hours from now, I'll be right back here again. Until then, drive safe and make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton. Eric Wilmer and Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial needs. If you have any questions about today's program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. And join us every day at the same time right here on AM 740 WSBR, South Florida's Money Talk Radio.